crew. Welcome to Rocky Railway Bible Adventure. I'm Mrs. Remler, and Mr. Remler is with me, and we're going to be your conductors on our adventures into the Holy Bible. Today, we're going to Damascus by train in the Holy Lands, and we're going to talk about how Jesus' power helps us do hard things. But the one thing we have to always remember is to trust Jesus. And the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, "For I can do everything through Christ, who gives me strength." And God often asks his followers to do hard things. For example, Noah had to build an ark because of the fact that God was mad at the people and wanted Noah to save his family and save 2 of every animal. Moses was asked to do challenging things, first of all, because he had kind of a stutter and he was afraid to speak in front of people, but he had to speak in front of a lot of people and talk to the Pharaoh and convince the Pharaoh to stop making the Jewish people slaves. And Joseph also had to work with the Pharaoh and be brave and tell the Pharaoh about his dreams so that he could be saving the country. And so those are just a few of the things, or a few of the people that were asked to do some challenging things in the Bible. Well, today we're talking about 2 people, and those 2 people, it's from Acts 9, and it's Ananias and Saul, are also known as Paul.
So this is Ananias. I don't know how accurate that drawing is, but the one thing that I want you to see here is he's got his hand on a shoulder here. Ananias was given a mission that frightened him, like Moses and Noah and Joseph. He was scared because he had to make contact with a man named Saul, who had a reputation for being kind of a mean person. And Saul had been blinded. He had, according to the news, had an experience, an encounter with God, and he had been unable to see since then. And Ananias was told to go to Saul, to put his hands on Saul, and that would help Saul see again. So even though Ananias didn't know if he could do this, he was afraid to do it, he undertook the challenge. Here's Saul, aka Paul, because part of the reason that Saul was kind of a scary dude was because he was executing Christians. He was very, very angry about the new Christian movement, and would often stone people to death they would throw rocks at them. You see the stone in the hand there. But after his conversion, after God told Saul, stop persecuting me, stop hurting other Christians, Saul had an experience that changed him. And so here you see him dropping the rock, and he wasn't going to be the kind of person that would do those things anymore. And after that, he was no longer known as Saul, he became known as Paul. And because Ananias had the courage to go and lay his hands on Paul, Paul could see again, and of course did all kinds of missions all through the Holy Land, converting people to Christianity and teaching people about Jesus.